This is like my bajillionth time trying. First of all, hi, welcome to Cooking with Jess. Today we're talking about snacks. That's the most important thing to me. Meals are fine. I'm learning to love them again. But snacks are the most important. And you're looking at me like, why on earth do you have an onion? Let me tell you. I love a good hummus, right? Love them. However, sometimes I think the flavors are boring and predictable. And Aldi had this one flavor that was caramelized onion, and it blew my mind. But it was limited time only. And the thing about finding things that you love when you are on a food restriction, food allergy, some sort of restrictive diet, is when you find something, you want access to it. So, let's make caramelized onion hummus. What I do is start with a preferred hummus base. You can get regular, I got garlic this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some onions, I'm going to caramelize them, and we're going to put them in this hummus, and it's going to be delicious. So you can hear my dishwasher going in the background, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the edges off, the ends off my onion. I know you onion people, you're going to come at me and you're going to tell me that this is the wrong way to cut an onion. I've been doing this all my life, and you know what? The onion still tastes the same. So I'm cutting both ends off the onion. And then I'm going to cut down the side. Again, onion enthusiasts, I know you're going to tell me I'm wrong. And then I'm going to peel off the first layer, which is just my go-to. That's how I manage cutting onions. If you have a better way to cut onions, by all means.
You know, I don't know what happened, but my voice cut out. And so here I am telling you that I am cutting up 3 onions into small, I cut them in half, and I'm cutting them into thin strips. The reason I'm doing this is so they cook quicker. You can cut them bigger or smaller. It is up to you. I prefer them in strip form. That way they just cook evenly. Now I'm using 3 onions because I have 3 hummuses. Is that too much? Maybe. But that's the plan. Now, Jess, you said that you were dairy-free, and I am. I'm using plant butter. Is that my go-to? Sometimes I use margarine, and that is also dairy-free. It's just whatever I have in the house at the time. So I am going to grab a spoon. I don't really measure this, but what I prefer to do is I get a spoonful and I plop it in there. It looks like about 1 tablespoon. So you're welcome to measure it and be more accurate than I am, but that's how I handle this. Now I have added all 3 onions to the pot, and at this point this is where the onions are really getting to my eyes. But I'm going to add some salt because it adds sweetness to the onion and helps it burn less, I guess. I know that looked like a lot of salt, but there are 3 onions in there, and I do have low blood pressure, so a little extra salt won't hurt me, but if it does you, that's okay. Do less. I am turning my burner on to medium-high heat, stirring the onions and the butter together, and then I cover it. Keep that thing covered while it's cooking to help those onions cook down. Give it about 5 minutes and then come back to stir. Stir, stir, stir. At this point, my husband would be saying that the house smells like onions and he needs to evacuate. Or the onions do, really. But cooked onions are so good. Alright, I'm giving it a good stir. It's starting to turn brown, but we're not close yet. Now, it was starting to cook too fast, so I bumped that burner down to medium heat. Dun dun dun, we're slowing it down. Alright, we've got some brown onions now, but we're not done yet. Okay, ooh, there's the steam. Watch your eyes. Okay, so they're cooking too fast and there's not enough liquid or moisture in the pan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another scoop of butter. I'm going to plop that in there. I know that seems maybe excessive, but remember there are 3 onions in there. And this is not all going into the same hummus container. And I'm not going to eat it all in one sitting, or at least, I shouldn't, but I really love this hummus. So, we're going to stir that in. Watch your eyeballs. We're going to stir that in and then let it cook for a little bit longer. But we're getting really close. Okay, dun dun dun. See how it's nice and even. Put the lid back on. And now we're talking. Look at that. Okay, oh, your eyeballs. Man, I'm so sorry. Did that help? Okay, so giving it a stir, and it looks perfect. Now, what I'm about to do is optional, but it is a key factor in caramelizing for a lot of recipes. I'm going to add some brown sugar. I start with 1 scoop, and I've got, remember, 3 onions. So I'm going to add 1 more to the mix. And here we go. Here we go. Took me forever. Come on now. So 2 spoonfuls. I let that cook for a hot second. Stirring occasionally. Here's my taste test. Perfection. Super good. We are grabbing our hummus, opening it up, and we're going to put that into the bowl. And this is where I reference Scotty K Fitness. I love him so much. Put it in the bowl. Anyway, here I go, scooping it in. Dun dun dun.
How long is this going to take?
Just a little yapper over there. And then I'm putting a healthy scoop of onions in. Remember, I made it for 3 batches of hummus. I'm going for another one because I really like onions. And this is where I'm going to get my immulsifier. That was my Scotty K Fitness reference in the bowl. Alright, I know I said that I was going to blend it, but I am using an immulsifier. This thing saves my life. I love it. Okay. Now I have blended it. I like it where it's one consistency. I don't like chunks in my things, in my food. However, if you are a chunky person, you like chunks in your food, go ahead and don't blend it all the way. That's the consistency that I like. And now I'm going to taste test it. Remember, I'm gluten-free, so I'm grabbing tortilla chips. If you don't like tortilla chips or you're not gluten-free, go ahead and grab a cracker. Whatever floats your boat. Alright. And I prefer this to be cold and having sat in the fridge for a while, but I wanted to give it a good taste test, and oh my gosh, it is phenomenal. So, so good. If you are on a food restrictive diet, if you have alpha-gal or severe food allergies, remember that food can still be fun, and that's what we're exploring here. Find things that bring you joy, and of course, thanks for watching Cooking with Jess. Bye!